while millions of people are screaming at their TVs, painting their faces, and getting emotionally destroyed because strangers lost a game. There's a massive group of people who just don't care. Not faking it, not trying to be different, just genuinely unmoved by the whole thing. If that's you, there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is just wired differently. And psychology has a lot to say about what that wiring actually means. The first trait, lower tribal instinct. Humans are tribal by design. For thousands of years, being part of a group meant survival. Your tribe protected you, fed you, kept you alive. Sports are modern tribes with better merchandise. When someone watches their team, their brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that makes people love their families. Their brain literally tricks them into feeling like millionaire athletes, are part of their clan. But people who don't care about sports often have what psychologists call lower tribal instincts. Their identity isn't as tied to group belonging, more individualistic, more self-contained, more likely to feel complete, without needing to be part of something bigger. A 2019 study found that people with low sports interest showed significantly less us versus them thinking. They don't automatically hate the other team just because it's not their side. That's not coldness, that's independence. The second trait, a dopamine system that isn't triggered by vicarious competition. That feeling right before you open a gift, anticipation. Excitement. That's dopamine. Sports fans get that hit constantly during games. Every play, every possession. Micro doses of anticipation and reward on repeat. Studies using brain scans show that watching your team activates the same reward centers as gambling. The uncertainty is what makes it powerful. You don't know if they'll win. That unpredictability keeps dopamine flowing. Intermittent reinforcement. The most addictive reward schedule in psychology. Same principle that makes slot machines effective. People who don't care about sports simply don't get triggered by this. Their dopamine system isn't hooked by watching strangers compete. And research suggests this might be genetic. Variations in dopamine receptor genes can predict how much someone cares about competitive, spectator activities. Complete indifference to whether a team wins or loses might literally be in the DNA. The third trait, stable self-esteem that doesn't depend on external victories. Sports fans experience something called basking in reflected glory. When their team wins, they say we won. When their team loses, they lost. Notice the pronoun switch. Their self-esteem rises and falls based on outcomes. They have zero control over. People who don't care about sports don't do this. They're more consistent in how they see themselves. They don't need external victories to feel successful. Their sense of worth isn't tied to strangers. Putting a ball through a hoop, that's not arrogance. That's stability, a self-concept that doesn't fluctuate based on a game, played by people who don't know they exist. The fourth trait, empathy, allocated elsewhere. Everyone has a limited capacity for emotional investment. Sports fans direct a huge portion of theirs toward teams and athletes. They practice caring deeply about strangers' struggles, as long as those strangers wear the right jersey. People who don't care about sports allocate that empathy differently, toward relationships, creative projects, ideas, causes that directly affect their lives. A 2021 study found that people with low sports interest scored higher in openness to experience and appreciation for art, music, and beauty. They're getting emotional highs from different sources. Their brains seek the same things: meaning, connection, transcendence, just not through a game. The reward is the same, the vehicle is different. The fifth trait: preference for direct engagement over spectating. Sports fans build one-sided relationships with teams and players. Parasocial investment: emotional energy poured into something that doesn't know you exist and can't reciprocate. People who don't care about sports prefer investing where their involvement actually matters, where they're participants, not spectators, where there's actual reciprocity. They'd rather be in the game of their own life than watching someone else play theirs. Research on flow states shows that complete absorption can come from countless activities. For some, it's watching sports. For others, it's building, creating, solving, connecting. People who don't obsess over sports often report feeling more present in their own lives. They're not spending hours experiencing someone else's struggle. They're engaged in their own. Here's what all of this actually means. Not caring about sports doesn't mean you're missing out on some fundamental human experience. It means different wiring, different reward systems, different tribal instincts, different empathy allocation. None of it better, none of it worse, just calibrated differently. The next time someone asks, "Did you see the game?" and the honest answer is, "You couldn't care less," that's not a flaw. That's not boring. That's just playing a different game entirely. One with stakes that actually involve your own life. If this explains something you felt but never had words for, subscribe. More content like this is coming. Psychology that makes sense of why you're wired the way you are.